Fight Lounge is something that we haven't obviously gotten to get our hands on yet, but we've seen some footage of it. It looks great. It has a great vibe to it. It's got kind of that old school arcade feel, but also just seems like a great place for players to spend time and hang out with their friends. Can you talk a little bit more about that lobby and just kind of what it is and how people might be using it?
Yeah, right. So the aesthetic of it, like you said, is kind of like a love letter to arcade culture. I'm old enough where I was able to experience that firsthand in various locations. First, when I was studying abroad in Japan, I went to all the arcades and all the titles, all the fighting games you could ever want to play were there. It was amazing. Each had their own unique atmosphere. So the aesthetic look of it, that made its way into this. The director Nakatsu and myself, we looked at various major arcades, even one of ours in London, the Namco. It was really impressive. And so it's not one particular one, but kind of elements from all of these, so that people who've been before will be like, oh man, this is what it felt like. I miss it. It's awesome. I can do it online from the comfort of my home anytime I want. And then for new players who maybe haven't ever been there because they've disappeared a lot in the West. And we've seen kind of a revival of like 80s and that whole culture and neon and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So we're thinking maybe that's something that would even interest younger players, even if they haven't been in an arcade, to say, oh, okay, I've seen this in the movies or TV or heard about it from OG players. Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And we tried to kind of incorporate some of the elements that made it fun outside of the visuals. So you have the arcade machines there, like you saw, right? I think we showed you some footage of it. And you have all these players' avatars lined up and they're watching someone play. Mm-hmm. When I say watching, it means like you can actually choose to spectate that person's match, or you can choose to get on that machine and play against other people in that group. Mm-hmm. And you can interact. You can chat with them. We have emotes, which means in different pre-animations and things you can do to communicate. Mm-hmm. You can also, we have a bunch of cool Tekken stickers that I think we showed you as well.
Yes.
That I think people are going to like. And so the avatars themselves also, it's kind of a different type of customization from the characters. This is a whole new thing that you create to be a representation of yourself in the manner that you like. And so you're interacting with your friends online with this avatar.
Yes, and obviously a lot of really cool customization options on those avatars as well. So can you talk about kind of the customization we're going to see in Tekken 8 and what you guys learned from Tekken 7?
So Tekken 7, the customization, there was a lot of options, obviously. I think a lot of people are surprised when they first join a fighting game or Tekken in particular, because there's a certain culture there. A lot of people think every character should look cool in a customization, but like you said, some people want to have a donut on their head or something goofy. I think we all remember one year at TWT, there was a Korean player that was using Akuma that had like scuba gear and like a floaty and all this crazy stuff, right? And we all know Nobi likes to make these crazy costumes too. So there's just so many variety of different items you can equip to your character. Some are very awesome and cool looking, like you saw with Azucena, and some are goofy and entertaining and fun to troll your friends with. So, but the categories have changed too. Like shoes weren't a category you could previously do in Tekken 7, which you can now in Tekken 8. And I think we've showed off a bit about, granted, I can't talk about everything, but the items that you can actually attach to your costume, and you can, like a horn, for example, on your head, you can change the size of it, you can change the location around where you want it, the color, etc. So there's a lot more options you have for customization. And that's just for the characters. For the avatars themselves, there's a whole set of other different customization items, whether that's hairstyles or clothing or shoes, maybe a whole skin, like some of the pre-orders, I think, have some Mokujin and things like that. You can do a skin of your character. So there's a lot of different customization, and mainly the two, for the characters and then for the avatars.
Yes.
And then I forgot about the player customization we call, which is the life gauges, the player panels, and all of that stuff. So Tekken is a highly customizable game. And the music, too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So yeah, whatever you want to change, whatever feels like the most Tekken thing to you at that moment, you've got, right? And I'm going to put a donut on my head. I think I've been inspired. or maybe something more ridiculous. I don't know.
Or
I have
floating
to see,
clownfish or something.
Honestly, I'm going to dig into it now. And I'm sure the community is going to create and share a lot of incredibly awesome characters that people are going to love seeing. And speaking of things that are coming back, and not just customization, obviously, we've got Tekken Ball. in Tekken 8.
Right.
And it's been a hot second since we had Tekken Ball. Talk about Tekken Ball. Why are we bringing Tekken Ball back now? Obviously, I'm super excited about it, but like, why, what made that decision to be like, you know what time it is? It's Tekken Ball time.
Yeah, I mean, Tekken, we were talking about one of the things that made it popular was the amount of content outside of directly fighting against another human opponent. So in the past, this has been Tekken Force or Tekken Bowling or some of the mini games that we've had in the past. So we were thinking we want something to relax because fighting online at like high rank battles can be quite stressful. So the way it came about though was when we were kind of designing the Fight Lounge. You're wandering around with your avatar, hang out with your friends. There's actually currently 4 different areas. There's the battle area, but then there's like the store where you can go and see customization items and what it will look on your character, etc. There's an area to practice in with other people online. But there's a beach area that's kind of cool. That right off the main arcade portion where you go out into this beach area, and it's got like this DJ playing and a car and all this cool stuff on the beach. And that is the perfect place to have Tekken Ball, right? And it just happens that this is something people have been asking myself and Harada for on social media for such a long time that we've seen a few iterations of Tekken Ball, a few iterations of Tekken Force or Scenario Campaign or whatever you want to call it. But we haven't really seen much of Tekken Ball. Just Tekken 3 when it first came out. And then I think the Tekken Tag Tournament 2 Wii U version,
yes.
right? So we felt maybe it was time, and we expect a lot of brand new players. And one of the cool things about the Tekken Ball is that you have access to your whole moveset with that particular character you choose that you use to hit the ball with. And so as you do that, obviously the ball contains the damage, and whoever fails to block that, they get like blown to pieces, right? So, but you have all the different techniques that you want to use. So it's kind of fun to find like how it affects the trajectory of the ball, the speed, etc. At the same time using your moveset. So it's a fun way for both advanced players but also newcomers to just take a break from the head-to-head action.
Yes, and the ball is also customizable.
It is.
Continuing the trend of whatever you want to do, we can do. And I am so excited to play Tekken Ball. I genuinely can't wait, and I'm sure a lot of people also can't wait. So tons of features. And the last one, I think the one with a name that I love, Super Ghost Battle.
Right.
Tekken 8 has ghosts. They learn from your playstyle, and they can imitate you, and they learn very quickly. And you can go fight other players' ghosts. So, tell us about the ghost system in Tekken 8. Can I go fight Mii's ghost anytime that I want to? What's going on there?
So Tekken has had ghosts in the past, but this is a totally different thing, hence the name Super Ghost, right?
Super Ghosts, not just regular ghosts.
So in the past, Tekken, not in 7, but I think more like 5 and 6, it would pick up certain actions that you do after playing many battles that maybe it does a certain combo that you often do, or maybe it misses a certain combo that you often drop. And maybe throwing a lot or something like that. But there were only certain limited areas that the ghost would learn. But this time, we totally redid the system from scratch, AIQ learning. So what it is it recognizes all of these cues. If you're backdashing a lot, it backdashes a lot. If you're wave dashing or sidestepping, it does that. It does the combo. It drops the combo if you're dropping that particular combo. The action is quite interesting. I think at TGS, we showed a video of Mishimaster, our battle director, who was also a very famous player himself in Tekken 5 DR days. And he was playing a ghost of himself, and it was hard to tell which one was the ghost and which one was the human. And I know I even saw your eyes change when I was explaining this earlier. And it's one thing explaining it, and then it's another thing showing you the video of in the match, the ghost, you do something, it says ghost is learning, there's a prompt that shows up on the screen on the top right. And then it does that thing right away, right? And so before you had to play so many matches to get the ghost to even resemble you. Right now it's learning right away in that one match your tendencies. And so it's quite interesting because you can see yourself level up in the ghost as you're playing. Or maybe I can fight my friend's ghost while he's not online and kind of learn how to beat him. And he doesn't know that I'm doing this. And to your answer, can you play Nii? This kind of ties into the Fight Lounge. So the way you do this is You go online with your avatar, and if I see you, for example, I'll see your customized self on there, and I can click on your profile, and it'll tell me your stats about if you backdash a lot or sidestep or you're good at blocking, etc. But then there's a profile of text that you chose whatever you wanted to write. But then there's ghosts, and so I can pick that ghost version of you and then commence to battle that. And so it could be fun. It could be like, hey, my ghost whipped your butt, and I could never, live that down. Or I could be just like steadily learning how to beat you by playing through your ghost character. And that could be me or whoever you happen to meet in that Tekken Fight Lounge.
Yes, definitely a great way to get back at your friends for like, that last set was close. I'm gonna go train against your ghost, and they're not gonna know what's happening. A super exciting feature. And I remember the Ishimaster ghost fight. I think the ghost was up like 2 rounds to 0 at one point. Like
he's like, okay, I gotta try harder now.
Yeah. Like they're really very impressive, and I think for anybody who hasn't seen them yet, you're not really gonna understand how impressive they are until you see them in action. I know I was blown away by them, and I can't wait to go play other people's ghosts.
You can fight my ghost. And
yeah, I can't wait to fight your ghost and lose to that.